Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Beer Name Podcast, episode 19. I'm Chris.
And I'm Paul, 19.
19. And this podcast is sponsored by Mosaic Board Printers, Europe's leading beer mat manufacturers. Ain't that a fact?
Sexy damn printers.
Yeah. They made these.
Yeah.
If you're watching, you can see a
Ziggy Stardog.
Ziggy Stardog.
But we're not going to talk about Ziggy Stardog because we're boring everyone today.
I fell asleep when I was telling someone about it the other day.
Yeah, quite rightly. So, we've been quite busy.
We have been. I need to recuse myself, actually.
Go on.
I'm expecting... I know this is like nearly 8:30 when we started recording this, but I'm expecting an Amazon delivery that requires a password.
Okay.
Yeah.
These are those kind of sex eggs that you like to put up your arse.
Bum eggs.
Bum eggs, yeah.
Could be. I mean, I've bought a mystery box.
It could be anything.
It could be anything. I don't know. I've just bought a mystery box.
But,
I heard...
But they are arse related.
Yeah. I heard it could be that or either like a gun or one of those zombie knives.
Okay.
Or drugs.
Or yo-yo. Could be something like
It could be.
The places your mind goes to.
Oh, Paul. So...
I won't ask you what you're getting. Because I know, you told me.
Yeah, I told you off camera. I'm gonna leave it for everyone else to ponder on though, because
well, if next time you're sitting very uncomfortably,
well,
it means you've got something
yeah,
up your ass.
it means I've remembered the password that they asked for.
You may enter. Well, so we have a right laugh at.
We've got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight.
We have, yes.
And we've got the old serious business going on.
There's a lot of serious business.
A lot of serious business because we've kind of taken a bit of a swerve into it at the moment. It seems to be going really well.
It's what we used to call the Doom Bar, but we've now realised that pretty much all news is bad news now. So it's a redundant title.
It's always bad.
Yeah.
So
it's just news.
Yeah, just that's Brewsround.
Just Brewsround. John
Brewsround.
Craven's Brewsround. We've got to think of a John Craven's pun.
Or Wes Craven.
Yeah.
No. Fantasy Beer Name Podcast. The reason why it's called that, for those of you jumping on for the first time, is that we basically just name the episode after a fictional beer name that's usually related to something that we've done, said, or whatever.
Yeah.
And this one, Paul, this week's fantasy beer name is a corker. I don't think I've told you about it yet because I only thought of it just before we went on camera. I was really struggling because we've got Awful April coming up. Mm-hmm. As in, like, tomorrow it's the start of April.
Yep.
And they're calling that in the news Awful April.
Why?
Because I think it's just everyone's council tax is going up.
Oh, I see.
Everyone's, as we'll talk about later, independent shops and employers are getting fucked over.
Yep.
Energy costs have all gone up. So all that's happening. So they've called that Awful April. So I wanted to try and do like an Awful April pun, like, I don't know, Awful April O'Neil from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
She wasn't awful.
She was nice.
She was
though,
lovely.
yeah.
Cartoon and film version.
Yeah.
Hot.
And I was really struggling. And then I realised, actually, just leave the April thing alone.
Yeah, just leave it, man.
Because
Don't drag yourself down.
there's a better one.
Okay.
And it's very related and it's very relevant to something that we did recently.
Oh.
This episode is called Peanut Butter Mousetrap.
Nice.
Yeah, you know all about this.
Is this bum related as well?
No.
Oh.
No.
Go on then. I remember what this is.
Yeah. What video were we filming when it happened?
We'd just done the Orval tasting. Had we not?
That was it. Orval tasting.
Yeah, and just as we'd finished, we were having a self-congratulatory... What's the word I'm after?
Self-congratulating.
I was going to say something else, but yeah, that'll do. Glass of something nice. And we're just unpacking and putting everything away. And unpacking. We were packing. Putting everything away. And your cat brought a live mouse in.
Yeah.
And it ran round. And you freaked out. You jumped up onto the sofa.
I was stood on this island.
Like the cleaner from the Tom and Jerry cartoons.
Yeah, where was my brain?
Thomas!
So there was like... We didn't know because the cat just walked in. And obviously for those of you who listen regularly, you may be aware that the cat will always come in at least once during the podcast and usually meows.
Yeah.
She's weird. She likes to let you know that she's here.
Yeah, no, diva.
But she didn't that one time. We were just packing away and she just came in, and didn't make a noise. So it's like, that's interesting. And then my wife, who's in the living room through there, just goes, "Oh my God, she's got a mouse. It's still alive. It's running around." And I was like, "Oh man." And I was quite relieved actually. You were like, "Oh, I love catching mice."
I don't think I said that.
You can't, I mean, you said it in your actions.
You said it in your eyes.
Yeah, you went through and you were basically helping us turn the room upside down.
I'll be honest with you, I just wanted to toss your sofas over.
Yeah, because you keep coming around with that warrant. You keep saying it's a warrant, and I'm like, that's not a warrant.
Yeah,
That's a menu from Loon Fung.
Yeah, I just want to. Yeah, just want to search your house, man.
So yeah, we turned over. Well, we got the bookcase out. We turned the sofa over. We put the full room in lockdown as much as you can in a kind of open plan house, and to no avail.
Yeah, and then you had to go on holiday.
Yeah, so a couple of days later, we went on holiday, and we left a mouse trap down. We were having no luck in those couple of days before we went away. We even went to the effort of putting peanut butter in there. It's a humane one for those who care.
Yeah.
So
I mean, imagine our surprise when you came back from holiday and the mouse had done a full podcast recording using our equipment and started its own YouTube channel. I mean, bloody hell.
I'm trying to think of a Planet Beer TV mouse pun. I just can't think of one.
Look, that mouse has got too much out of us already.
Yeah.
It's already overtaken us on subscribers.
Yeah.
Bloody mouse.
Not difficult.
No. No.
But yeah, I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's alive. We're seeing no signs that it's alive. No dropping.
It's gone, man. It probably went the same night.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Don't worry.
It's all good now. The only thing I've got to worry about now is just the mousetrap starting to stink of rotten peanut butter. So
yeah, pick it up then.
Yeah. I get freaked out by
I'm
bad
thirsty,
smells.
Chris.
Sorry, yes. But yeah, peanut butter mousetrap, that's the beer name. Who brews it? And what is it? It's got to be a peanut butter stout, right?
It's almost got to be. I've had a few peanut butter stouts recently, and I can't think who any of them were from.
Famously, the Beer by Omnipollo, formerly Yellow Belly.
My head instantly went to Omnipollo with peanut.
Yeah.
Fuck it. It's Omnipollo.
The Beer by Buxton / Omnipollo is a peanut butter stout without any peanuts in.
Yeah, it's too surreal a name for Buxton.
It is. And it isn't named after like a feature in the Buxton Hills or Dales. I suppose Omnipollo could. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Oh, we're having Omnipollo tonight.
I've got an Omnipollo in the fridge.
Let's do Omnipollo.
Not in the fridge, in the cupboard.
You better not be in the fridge. Be fucking hell to pay.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the next point of order, which is what the hell have we been up to? Because whatever it is that we've been up to, we've been doing very similar things, but separately.
Well, as we're doing that, I'm just going to pour a beer because I'm very, very thirsty, and it's a good lead into what I've been up to recently.
Yeah.
Because I've been on holiday.
Yes.
Just for a few days. I went down to just outside of Newquay in Cornwall for our first dog-friendly holiday down to Watergate Bay. And it was
any scandals?
Not really. It was just cold and windy, very sunny, but very cold.
Yeah, it's kind of the same when I went a couple of weeks later.
But we discovered a new brewery, new for us, obviously.
Yeah.
Us being me and my wife Hannah. So in between Padstow and Newquay, we were sort of just driving down some country lane, and Hannah went, "Stop!" And she'd seen a chalkboard with craft beer scribbled on it.
Nice.
Badly. And that's always a good sign for me.
Was the R backwards or something? Like
just terrible
like
writing.
The corn logo.
So we took a quick detour to this little trading estate. And I say little, it was literally 2 units on this trading estate. And one of them indeed had a little brewery.
Ah.
And it was a brewery called, well, I was calling it Braslou, but apparently it's Braslou.
Yeah, or Braslou.
Or Braslou. But Braslou. And got chatting to the one person who works there.
Nice.
The brewer, owner, operator, everything. Mr. Tommy Barnes. And apparently he's quite well known.
He's written books.
He's an author, a best-selling author, and he's written 2 books about his journey from a high-paid marketing executive in that there London and he sold up and basically moved to rural France and started a little brewery out the back of a van.
I love it when people snub London.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Chicken soup for the soul.
Yeah, so rural France is quite a brave place to go to sell beer, and he eventually came back over here and he's set up in Cornwall, and all his beers are French inspired.
Very very nice, clean branding.
Yeah, so
big fan of that.
I've just poured a Saffron Helles.
Saffron Helles. What does it say on the back?
You always write some silly nonsense on the back. So this one says, Saffron Helles is a lager brewed with saffron, to be enjoyed while doing something French, like shrugging or weighing in the roadside, perhaps. I don't know.
Zoutala.
But yeah, Tommy's lovely, and he's just writing his third book, apparently.
Nice.
So, yeah. And we've got him on the channel for a chat. He's so interesting.
We started a People in Beer series, podcast series. There's been one episode that's currently up on the Patreon at the moment, which is an interview with Tim, the brand weaver.
Yep.
All about beer and branding. And we've got a few more names lined up for it. So it's all going to be about people that are beer adjacent. So it's the other arm to all the breweries.
Yeah, not just your standard brewers and brewery operators, but people with one foot in the beer world.
Yeah. So
1 foot in the beer world.
Look out for that when it comes out.
What do you think of Saffron Helles?
I haven't tried it yet. It smells like when I'm making a paella, because that uses saffron.
What I will say about this beer, and I think I've tried all of them now, the ones we took away, it does taste remarkably French.
I was going to say, is saffron lager a French thing? Because the French are too lazy to make anything that.
Not necessarily saffron lager. I just mean that there's a very French style to the beers that I've tried. His IPAs and his pale.
It's really refreshing.
It's really nice. At first, when I tried this, I was like, "Do I like this?" But actually, it's fucking brilliant. The more you get into it, and it's got a nice bit of sweetness to it.
Yeah,
it's definitely a Helles as well. I can tell.
Yeah, no, it's really nice. It's very as ever with a Helles, it's accessible.
It's rustic as fuck.
Yeah,
but that's
really good.
That just makes it. It's a kind of unique beer, really. I like it a lot.
I'm not sure if I'd pint it.
No, you wouldn't pint it, but it's certainly a quencher.
Yeah,
that's what he only does. These tiny little cans, anyway. These stubbies.
Obviously, a nod to France.
A nod to France.
330 ml. I mean, it's not going to be 330. Is it 330 ml over there? I don't know. They're different.
Yeah, well,
they're made different, aren't they?
I had 4 beers off him. I can't remember what else we had. There's an IPA, a DIPA, which we'll have in a bit, which isn't a DIPA. It's a very low ABV DIPA.
Nice.
He's just said, right, it's a DIPA. I've decided. Called it a French DIPA.
Yeah, the French don't know what they're doing either.
There's a stout and there's I think it was a pale ale, I think. But they're all very good. Oh, hazy IPA, that's what.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was very good. So yeah, that went to Cornwall, went to all the other Verdant venues, which aren't the tap room itself in the brewery.
Nice.
The weird one is the pub in Newquay, which was the Sink Inn.
Oh, isn't that closed at the minute?
It's closed, and I've just heard this because Bluntrock have had it. Which will lead into your little story in a bit. So yeah, that's interesting. It was a weird vibe in there as well. So like it felt like it was just coasting when we were there as a pub. So that's why they're obviously closing. So I don't know if Verdant have gifted it or there's just been an exchange of.
Oh, I'm sure nothing is free, even in Cornwall.
No. But that's not the best thing I got up to over the past few weeks.
What was the best thing that you got up to?
We realised our oldest cat was 18 years old the other day. Yeah, last weekend we realised she was 18 years old, and I immediately started thinking I'd get another cat because she's not long for the world, right? So when she's gone,
it's always good to have a succession plan in place.
Yeah, we need a succession plan. So we thought, if we get another cat, what are we going to call it? And I always like to have names.
Can she do a third term, Pippa?
Nah, she's gone.
No.
Well, if I stop feeding her.
Yeah.
And then
Hannah
said, "What do you want to call it? The next one?" And for some reason, I said Gary Pubes.
Gary Pubes.
And I couldn't stop laughing for about
Gary Pubes. I mean,
and literally, at one point I was crying because I kept thinking of a cat called Gary Pubes.
Gary Pubes. I mean,
Gary Pubes.
I hope that you tell the vet that is the registered name.
And that's what made me laugh the most because our vet's a guy called Monamisi, is an African guy. I think he's from Kenya, and he's got a very thick Kenyan accent, and he comes out and calls the animal into the room in quite a joyous way. And I just
an East African, yeah.
I wanted to hear him go, Gary Pubes!
I was just thinking, don't do the voice, don't.
That's what it sounds like.
Well,
yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. Yeah, so Gary Pubes.
Nice.
If it's not a cat, it's going to be our next beer.
Yeah, Gary Pubes is... I mean, let's see how long Pippa goes on.
Pippa.
I think we got to wait and see, haven't we? Well, what I was up to, because I went to Cornwall 2 weeks later than you.
We didn't ask.
Yeah, I know. I went further up the road to Rock.
Yes.
Not to see Bluntrock.
Well, that was a nice coincidence.
I did go there, yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, lovely little family holiday. Didn't realise how fucking moneyed it is. Apparently it's called Kensington-on-Sea.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But it's really weird. It's like you've got mansions and then you've got council estates in a very Cornish coastal council estate kind of way. You know, some of the houses a bit further in look a bit grub, but then they're also kind of next to, because obviously we went in March, so it's kind of off season still, and there's still building works going on these little mansions. And
90% of those houses will be empty.
Probably, yeah. I mean, there was this house where we went on Portillo Beach, which is literally right next to where we're staying, in a caravan. And I was looking at this house, and I was like, it looks like a Hollywood Hills style mansion. It's like 4 floors, kind of built into kind of like that. And I could see the infinity pool. I was like, Jesus fuck! There's just a massive infinity pool there. So I had to search it when I got back, and I was like, "What is this house?" Because I did hear that like famous people live down there.
Okay,
but yeah, turns out it was Gordon Ramsay's house, or his mansion that he's built as a little summer house or whatever.
Oh, why has he come down to Padstow?
Well, I think that's the thing. Padstow's obviously got quite a lot of good food and Michelin star stuff. You got Paul Ainsworth and also
obviously Padstein, isn't it?
Mr. Stein, yeah.
They call it Padstow.
Padstein. But what was really cool is if you want to go to Padstow from Rock, it's a 27-minute drive, or you can walk down to the little water taxi and it takes 5 minutes.
That's free.
And but it's something like really. I'm trying to think of the word. Not a lot. It's
cheap.
Yeah, it's cheap. Like I think for me and my wife and my 4-year-old toddler, it was like $7.50 for the 3 of us. Only single trip, so you have to do it again, and you can't book returns. But I mean, for like skipping out, you couldn't drive there cheaper, especially with today's fuel prices.
Nice,
and also the parking when you get there. No, it was lovely. So we did that, and then to be honest, we other than Tintagel, we didn't do too much in that area.
Tintagel. We
did a lot of... I found that everything is about an hour away.
Yeah.
So we went to the Lost Gardens of Heligan near St. Austell.
Nice. Did you find them?
Away. Found them, yeah. Found Gardens of Heligan, as they're now called.
Absolutely.
Getting Google to rename it.
Yeah, smashed it. They could call it the Gulf of Evans.
The Gulf of Evans, yeah. And then, of course, I thought, well, while I'm over here, I may as well go to Falmouth, even though it's an hour away.
I knew you wouldn't be able to resist.
Well, I managed to plan it really well by basically selling it as, well, we can take my daughter to the soft play, which is next door to Verdant. So I spent a couple of hours in the soft play, gallivanting around, and then we went for pizza and beer at Verdant.
Anything good?
I mean, the beer's all good. I bumped into Alex again, the old taproom manager.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, he's now the locations manager around there now, because obviously now they've got all their different venues.
Well, one less now.
Yeah. Oh no, they're opening up. I meant to tell you about this in Falmouth. They've got the seafood bar.
Yep.
And up on the hill, they're having the Sea View, which is a desi pub.
The Sea View's been open for ages, though. I've been there.
It's been turned into in Falmouth.
Yeah. So they're converting it into a desi pub.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, man. So you can have a choice of seafood or desi pub when you're there.
Oh, yeah.
Why not both?
It's a weird place to see you when we went. It's like an estate pub, proper estate pub.
Oh, right. Is it for... Oh, yeah.
It's a lovely venue, but there's a weird air about it.
Nice. Yeah.
not to denigrate the locals in any way, shape, or form, but
yeah. I mean, when we were parking up, when we were driving,
there's definitely a vibe.
When we were driving into Falmouth, because we couldn't just go for a soft play and verdant trip in Penryn, so I had to go to Falmouth proper. Yeah, some of the car parks at the back with all the houses, I was like, "Fuck, this is rough." But I still maintain that Falmouth is probably the most populated of anywhere I've seen in Cornwall.
It's lovely.
It's a proper town.
It's good.
Yeah.
Some nice shops and restaurants and places to go and visit.
Bumped into James as well. James Saffron and Ad. The founders. Oh, and Rich actually.
Were they at the?
They were just drinking in the yeah.
I've never seen anyone when I've gone by myself.
Well, I don't know. You need to go at the right times.
Yeah.
What's quite funny is Rich was the founder that we never spoke to really.
Yeah.
So I went over. I took him a couple of cans of Ziggy Stardog.
Nice.
I took my cool bag so I could keep them cool. So I was like, here you go, they've been cold chained. And then also it meant that I could fill up the cool bag with cans from the fridge.
Did they appreciate it?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to get James on a podcast.
Oh,
maybe even with Jack as well, because we could do a little brew chat.
Yeah,
quite nice. He seems really up for that, so we just need to email him.
Hang on, before you carry on, obviously we've just poured another beer, and this is from Bluntrock. So this is one of the ones you bought back. Cornish Bird, 4.5% pale ale. What have we got in here then? What? Don't understand this. Created with Friends of Bluntrock for IWD. What's that mean?
International Women's Day. You.
Oh God, yeah.
Trumpy.
I was thinking of like
hater.
No, I thought it was like weapons of mass destruction. I couldn't work it out. This pale ale is lightly hot using the annual Pink Boots blend from Yakima Chief. Oh, Pink Boots blend.
Pink sexy boots.
And I can see it now. It's got Citra on the hot side and
pink boots.
But yeah, I don't know what Pink Boots blend is.
Well, we're finding out.
It's very sherbety. Very
but
nice.
let me just finish that. So, chatting to Rich there, and he just said to me, "Whereabouts in Birmingham are you from?" And I went, "Well, I mean, I'm from Cannock originally." He went, "Tamworth," and I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, what brought you down here? And he said, Tamworth. I was like, that's fair enough.
Tamworth's not Birmingham.
But, well, it's out, isn't it? Well, nor is Cannock. So,
no, exactly.
So it's Birmingham adjacent. Yeah. Well, it's funny, Alex, who's, as I mentioned earlier, was the taproom manager. If you remember last time we went down, he was like, where are you guys from? And it turns out he's from Sutton Coldfield, which is Birmingham.
Oh, wow. That is Birmingham. That's the posh bit of Birmingham.
Verdant seems to be populated with people that have up sticks and left the Midlands.
Quite rightly left the Midlands and gone to the coast. Can't fault them for that.
Yeah. But yeah, other than Verdant, Bluntrock, swung by there, really impressed with their little space. It's basically like 3 shipping containers. They've got one which is the tap room, one which is like the brewery, and then there's another shipping container that's like a little food kitchen.
Nice.
Where I don't know if it must cycle through. They must have a bit of a gypsy kitchen.
Nice.
But really nice. They've done it out good. It looks really nice with the lighting and stuff. Plenty of beers on tap.
I really wanted to go. They just weren't open when we were there.
Yeah, it's
weird times.
It's funny.
Couldn't make it work.
I think it might be one of those. If you went in the summer, I think things open up a little bit. If you go in season,
we were very off season when we went. There was nothing open.
Yeah. Well, the thing I was finding with Cornwall as well. Some of the roads that you end up driving down were giving me palpitations because I was like, if I meet something here, I need to reverse for like half a mile.
What would you do if you you were driving down a country lane and a car came up the other way? It was a big car as well, so you couldn't overtake it. And then you looked and it was a giant mouse driving it.
Yeah.
And it just started flicking the VC.
Yeah.
It picked up a tub of peanut butter and just mocking you by eating it. Yeah.
I'd be like, you should be back home, mate, in my house in a mousetrap, humanely, where Paul may swing by to feed the cat, notice that you're there and let you back out again. Thanks for doing that, by the way.
That's okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bluntrock, very good.
Nice.
meant to go back and buy cans. I bought cans when I was there, but that was more for my own enjoyment. And then meant to go back, didn't fit it in.
No,
So I ended up giving you 2 of my cans.
Thank you very much.
So you're welcome.
And 4 Verdants.
4 Verdants, yeah. Enjoy.
Including Fruit Car. I actually had a can of Fruit Car the day before you came back with that, and it was fucking spectacular.
Yeah. Well, when I saw that you had it, I was like, I'm going to have it now because
I am now 100% convinced that's in my top 5 beers of all time.
I'm going to get to Hot Vault and buy some more.
I absolutely love it. And also, while on that subject, on the Saturday we had that Fruit Car, I also had a putty, as in 3T putty.
3T putty, yeah.
Which had been in the fridge for the best part of a month. That has never tasted better either.
Yeah, I had putty TT on Sunday.
It was, that was 2 amazing beers.
Yeah, what do you think of this Cornish bird?
Nice, isn't it? I'm just so I don't really know what the pink blend is, but sorry, the pink boots blend. But
let me have a look.
It tastes quite,
Chief.
Yeah, it tastes quite sherbety, I think.
Pink boots.
So yeah, maybe it's an American.
It
homage.
consists of Crush, Simcoe, Mosaic, and Chinook.
It's Crush, isn't it? I think that's where I get that sort of big sherbety bubblegum kind of thing.
It looks like they change it every year. So
is it called Pink Boots? Do we know?
I don't know. I'm just looking at the Yakima Chief Hops site, but it says the 8th annual blend consists of Crush, Simcoe, Mosaic, and Chinook, and the 7th blend year before was Artenum, not heard of.
Ooh, Artenum.
Eldorado, HBC 638, and Idaho 7. So it just looks like they just do a nice little blend.
Is it?
Oh,
is it a blend?
It's for Women's Day.
I didn't want to say because obviously being the Trump style dinosaur that I am, and we just pointed out. I didn't want to say that'd be a bit generic having pink in.
I was going to say,
the Ladies' Day.
Doing it pink. I mean, come on now.
I just called it Ladies' Day, by the way. Like I'm going to Ascot.
Let's call it the Ladies' Blend. Ladies' Blend. But yeah, no,
we're out of our depth. Let's change the subject instantly.
We've done well not to piss anyone off in our time, really.
Well, there's been a few, but anyway,
let's move on to the next beer.
Hang on, bloody hell!
Oh, I liked it.
Well, I'm desperately trying to chug this back. Also had another beer on Saturday. I was drinking quite a lot of big, strong beers.
Big, strong boys.
Big, strong boys. And I had the putty tipper, the Fruit Car, which is obviously a dipper, and I had another tipper by North Park Brew, the American brewery.
Delish.
And if you remember, I said their tipper I had just before Christmas was one of the best things I've ever drank.
Yep.
And this was almost as good.
For a guy that used to say on record that tippers were a pointless style of beer, you cannot stop buying American tippers.
I didn't say they were pointless. I said I couldn't get on board with them. I know that what they're good for. Absolutely nothing.
Say it again.
The fact that a lot of modern tippers now tastes so mellow and not overbearingly
there is that
sweet.
Yeah,
it's just testament to the amazing brewing that's going on, man. We have another Braslou.
Okay. Is this the dipper that's not a dipper?
Yeah. So I've just realised something else on these cans. They've got this sort of gold inlay, and so it's quite hard to read in the light. But it says Braslou beer, and underneath in very small letters, inexplicably in North Cornwall, which is very funny.
He's got a great sense of humour, hasn't he?
Oh, he really has got a great sense of humour. That man.
He's a really good guy.
I don't know if you've met him. He's got a great sense of humour.
We did have this actually, didn't we? When I'd had far too many beers on our Baron live tasting.
Yeah, but you were completely pissed.
I do not remember it.
Yeah, I think I broke you that day.
You did. I after that, we were like, "What are we going to do now?" And I was like, "I'm going to go home, I think." You're like, "No, have a beer." So we did, and then you're like, "You want some wine?" I think that's your problem. You need some red wine, don't you? And I was like,
that's your problem.
Maybe. and then
you have a triple alcohol intake. Yeah, that's your problem.
And then I had the red wine, and you were like, "Do you want some more?" And I was like, I honestly think I need to tap out.
Yeah, you.
And you're like, oh, fine, well, get out the house then, because I need to go to bed. You suddenly made your mind up. Well, I could go and sleep. So this is Water Music, a double IPA.
Well, not really.
No.
So, funnily enough, this was the one he gave me first. He said, I've just brewed a double IPA, except it isn't because it's only 6.5%.
Ah.
And I said, what do you call it, a double IPA? He said, I don't know. Didn't turn out the way I wanted it.
Fair enough. You've got to own that, haven't you?
Yeah. I love it. So he's just called it he hasn't called it anything. He's just called it a double IPA and says 6.5% under it.
Well, he could just say that it's French.
But he does say on the back, he's got a beautiful story on the back. A warrior princess with tremendous thighs wanders the misty forest on her trusty unicorn, singing an Enya medley. Nice.
Okay.
A man with tremendous thighs does a one-arm press-up atop a cliff. Only I can stop the sea, he says, to nobody. He's satisfied with himself. A wolf howls from within a dormant volcano. It also has tremendous thighs. This is Water Music.
What kind of stream of consciousness is that?
Yeah, if you go and check out Braslou Bierre, specifically Tommy Barnes, and just go and have a look at his Instagram post. He'd put a sign up on in his brewery, which said, well, he'd obviously gone out and he said, "I'm not in. I've gone to the gym because I'm training for World's Strongest Man 2037, and I've got to work on my glutes because the glutes are going to clinch it." And that's what he put on his door.
Now who's the dad? Right, Water Music DIPA.
See what you think. I mean, it's West Coast looking, but I'm just going to call it French looking.
Yeah, and it smells like a kind of
piney West Coast, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say it's kind of West Coast-ish, maybe a bit mountain IPA.
I think that's really nice.
Yes,
it's got some
tasty.
Either Sabro or Idaho 7 type coconut vibes going
hops on there.
No,
it tastes nice.
He uses a French hop in every beer.
That's a nice touch.
And I can't remember what the bloody hop's called. Because of the tea. I can't read anything on these labels because it's really small writing and it's like I'm colourblind. So,
but yeah, I mean that's a. It's not a DIPA, Paul, but it's a damn good beer.
It's a bloody nice beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is going to tie into a Patreon exclusive. So
the drip tray,
so which we record straight after this, and we're going to be talking about when is a beer not a beer. I mean, when is a DIPA not a DIPA?
Yeah, I mean we've covered that in this one, but when it's not 8%,
when it's this beer in particular. But yeah, so we just want to give a quick shout out to some new patrons we got. So
yes, let's do that.
We're gaining traction. Woo. So as promised, it is a shout out to our new members. Over to you, Chris.
Yeah, we've got Harry from Barry. I think he works at Crafty Devil Brewing.
Nice,
long-term listener. He's signed up to be a hop lord.
Good man.
So now he has the power of a god, as we mentioned last time.
It is.
I mean, I wonder how that's working out for the other two.
Omnipotent.
Who is next?
David Bloomer. Don't know much about David, other than he lives in Barcelona and he came over to Stourbridge to apparently purchase a Ziggy Stardust.
And was unsuccessful.
And sold out, so he had to go back to Barcelona empty-handed.
I'm sure he probably lives in Stourbridge. Or lived in Stourbridge.
He came over specifically for that, went in, couldn't find the beer, went straight back to the airport.
But hey, thanks, David. We really appreciate it.
You ronker, you.
Then we've got Adrian Kirk, who I don't really know much about, but thanks
He's a man called Adrian.
Thanks so much for being a Barlow.
Yeah, he's on the Barlow tier. Thank you, Adrian. We got Stuart Evans, who's very active on our Patreon chats.
He's not related to me, by the way.
I never said he was.
Just saying. Same surname.
But Stuart is on the ronker level. Thank you, Stuart, you ledge.
And John Taylor. We've got John Taylor, who is, actually a personal friend. And he's signed up to be a ronker.
He's the only friend we've got who's actually signed up to our Patreon.
Our only actual friend. Not even Luke, the podcast guy, has signed up to be a patron.
Stop laughing, Luke. Your cheeky little laugh.
I've intentionally kept back the drip tray episodes from him, so he has to sign up to actually listen to them and watch his own performance.
Are we just going to skip over the fact I said pass the mustard for no reason?
I totally missed that.
Pass mustard or cut the mustard. Pick one.
Thanks, John.
And then we got
more friends should be like you, true friends.
True friends, not like certain people stood behind the camera over there. But then we've got Langer's Crafty Beer Drinkers, a.k.a. Phil and Amy, the legends we met up in Jules. More bottle shares on the horizon with you guys, I hope. And they're Hop Lords.
They signed up immediately after watching the last episode, or listening to the last episode, and that's exactly what you should do right now. That's right, you, behind the camera, behind this microphone. You should do that right now. If you haven't already. If you have, then thanks. Love you.
It's like this, but with more nudity.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm waiting for the episode, because they're suggesting content to us at the moment.
Yeah.
Because as they should do as exec producers. And I'm waiting for the episode where we need to drink our own pee.
Why are you waiting for it? Stop trying to make it happen, man. Hey guys, while Chris is off getting his Amazon parcel, which, let's be honest, is probably some kind of sex toy, I just want to remind you of our sponsors, Mosaic Boardprint, the UK's leading manufacturer of beer mats. So head over to their website, mosaic-boardprint.com, to find out more. Welcome to part 2 of the Fantasy Beer Name podcast. I hope you're doing absolutely bloody brilliant, because I know I am, Chris.
Hello, yes, I'm doing great.
I'm going to pour a drink.
What should we go for? What is next? I know.
Sorry, I just realised I hadn't finished off what was in my glass. We really should be washing the glasses out here, but I can't be asked to walk over to the sink. But we are drinking something quite unusual.
I'll talk.
You go and clean the glasses out. Good man. I found this in my... I was going to say my sink. Not my sink. In my fridge. I had a load of American beers sent to us just after Christmas, and I found... an absolute banger from Trillium. Well, I'm hoping it's a banger, but it's actually a Berliner Weiss, but it's an apple cider Berliner Weiss.
That doesn't sound like a banger. That sounds like... Is it because I'm just thinking apple cider vinegar?
I think deep down you're thinking of vinegar, aren't you?
But I think they're probably... What they're going to lean into here is the apple cider part, isn't it?
Well, it's going to be a Berliner Weiss, isn't it, anyway? So what we're hoping here... Oh, my God.
Apple cider vinegar.
That looks really,
Come on.
really pretty. That was really good, yeah. By the way. This looks amazing.
I looked over at Luke to see if he gave me any validation. He didn't. He just did a death stare down at the counter.
That's because he's regretting his life choices by not subscribing to the Patreon.
Fantastic. This looks interesting.
Pretty, doesn't it?
Is it going to smell like cider?
Well, I don't know what to expect from this, because Berliner Weiss is, in my humble experience, aren't really apple cider based. Where are we going? Where's your head at? Oh, it smells a bit apple crumbly.
Yeah, it's more kind of like, I suppose that's the Berliner Weiss thing, isn't it? It's they kind of almost taste a bit, not pastry-ish, but I suppose pastry-ish.
Not that, but yeah, that.
But yeah, like breadcrumbs.
Not pastry, but pastry. Yeah,
like crumble.
Yeah. I just said that.
That's a really good suggestion by me. It's crumble, isn't it? It's apple crumble.
Okay. Gaslit on fucking YouTube. Amazing.
A nice callback to one of the earlier episodes.
Ooh.
That's sweeter than I was expecting.
Jesus
oh my God.
Christ. It's like...
oh, wow, okay.
It's like apple jam.
Yeah. It's like... Yeah. I really want a pork bap.
You always want a pork bap, though.
That could be a subject for a future podcast episode.
Bap, cob, or bairn.
Or whatever. What else is there? There's people are weird.
People
say some really weird shit.
It's
just saying like a scone or something. It's like,
I can
completely different.
I'm not going to get into it.
A batch. That's another one.
Just about live with a bap.
Yeah, I should have said cob, shouldn't I?
It's cob, man.
It's cob. Like a little baby swan.
Down here, it's cob.
So that wasn't what I was expecting.
That's lovely, though.
Yeah, that isn't what I was expecting, because it fucking sugared me right in the tonsils.
Oh, yeah, that's a kick in the...
But now I can't stop drinking this.
Kick in the diabetes, that isn't it? Fucking hell.
I'm going to have to get another beer out.
Woo! That reminds me very much of the apple and vanilla custard beer that Vault City did a few years back, which I put on record as probably the only smoothie sour I've ever really, really loved.
Yeah.
So that's excellent. So well done, Trillium. Absolute legends. That
is good. It just tastes like one of those really nice Rudyard Kipling's apple pies.
Question for the drip tray though, but as a little lead into that, this is a beer. Absolutely a beer. It does pass as a beer, but it's not a Berliner Weiss.
It's not. No,
Nah, at all. In fact,
I don't know what it is.
it's its own thing, and they've just called it Berliner Weiss.
Well, I get that Berliner Weiss is supposed to be like sweetish, but I always thought it was supposed to be sweet and sour.
Yeah, this is sweet.
Yeah, that's just like I say, it does. Imagine, dear viewer, dear listener, that you've just taken a bite of a Mr. Kipling's apple pie.
That's exactly what it tastes like.
It's literally like that.
For our American viewers, that's like apple pies, but they don't burn your mouth off. In fact, they're just freezing cold, typically.
Yeah, exactly. I really like that. It's very sweet.
I'm not sure how much I'd be able to drink of that.
That's enough.
That's enough.
That's enough.
Diabetes.
Right then, Paul, it's time to do the Brewsround.
So, what did you call April?
Dong. No, wait. Awful April.
Awful
April.
You didn't call it dong.
Dong. No, I was doing the sound of the dong on Big Ben.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun. This is the news at 10 with Trevor McDonald. Dong. Yeah.
Are you going to do the accent?
I'm not going to do
Do you want me to?
Is he still alive? He's still with us?
Of course he is, man.
Oh, fantastic. I hope he never dies.
Apparently he's big into whores now.
What? What?
That's what he does with his retirement.
Big into whores?
Just really into whores.
Why isn't that in the news?
It is, constantly. It's on his OnlyFans, isn't it?
I love it.
Trevor McDonald's OnlyFans.
I'd sign up for that. I'd buy that for $1.
I'll buy that for $1.
Good. Okay. Well, what news have we got, Paul?
Northern Monk. Now, they haven't sold out.
Or have they? I mean, this is the thing, right?
But, yeah, we're confused.
I was definitely confused because I remember being in a coffee shop in Falmouth and looking at an email that was a press release sent by someone who I wasn't sure who they are. And they were telling me about Northern Monk's partnership with
Damn.
Who are they Barcelona?
Spanish, yeah. Are they actually in Barcelona?
Are they Estrella Dam?
They're not Australian.
Estrella.
Yeah, it's the Estrella lot in it. So it's them jabronis.
But I remember just reading this thing and I was like, why have I received this email? And what's the point? What do they want me to do? Because I was thinking, do they want some money from me?
Yeah, you were very confused about that, weren't you?
What's all this?
What did Dan want from me? It's just a PR email, Chris.
What does Northern Monk want now? What are they going to give us money? That's what I was hoping.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a question. No, we've got nothing to do with this, unfortunately.
No. Well.
But it sounds like they've got a distribution agreement with them. So I don't know what that means in reality. It sounds like they've outsourced their logistical arm in Europe, maybe?
Yeah, it says here that they have, under this partnership, Dam will assume the distribution of Northern Monk's key brands, Faith and A Little Faith, in the UK on trade.
So they're basically been signed up to, the basically promoted or demoted, depending on your point of view, to the macro league, haven't they? So they're going to be pushed into pubs now.
This strategic decision will allow Northern Monk to tap into Dam's extensive on-trade distribution whilst enhancing the Dam portfolio with a leading UK craft brand to complement its Spanish and Japanese brands.
So, really between the lines then, it sounds like their core beers, their big sellers, and probably the most accessible beers they've got are basically being farmed out now.
Yeah,
to a third party, and they're going to be on trade, as you say. So they're going to be up there with the Estrella or Dam band, shall I say? And hopefully that means they're going to continue to do things like Patrons projects. Patrons project.
Yeah.
Got Patreon on the mind. Patrons project and all that good stuff. Still,
I mean, I suppose
does it? We don't know, do we?
I suppose it's one of those. I don't think Northern Monk have been viewed in the league as proper craft true with two zeros.
Not for a long time.
True with 2 zeros craft.
Yeah, nice.
For a while. And that's probably the supermarket thing, that's them going into and
yeah, but we've mentioned it before, and in fact we spoke to them, and they're quite honest.
Yeah,
and
I really like
of their opinion that that's what they want to be. They want to be everywhere.
For them, it's more about getting specifically Faith. They really want that to be like the next punk IPA sort of thing, and I fair enough. I mean, they're straight up about that, and I suppose it aligns with that, but that doesn't necessarily align with what everyone else kind of views as,
It's a weird thing, isn't it?
Beer.
Because I hope it pans out for them. I really do, and it'd be good to have a relatively decent pale on tap when you go into a pub, which you've got no expectation of quality about. That'd be great, but I can't help but think about Beavertown, because the exact same thing happened to them. It's a different situation, though, because they were lock stock bought out and distributed, but they've just seemed to have died off everywhere. Certainly around here, I don't see Beavertown anywhere anymore. I don't know if they're
not unless you go into a really proper, just standard bar.
Yeah, and then they still charge you £6 a pint for in some probably lesser
fuck that
quality boozers, but I don't know, man. I hope it doesn't dilute them to the point
I think it's
even people who are still liking Northern Monk for what they do, and they're still kind of craft centric a little bit, people just go, oh, fuck this.
I think
which does happen. We're a fickle crowd, aren't we?
Yeah, it is the thing where, like, actually now they're, because of the way they're funded now, because they've done crowdfunders, they've definitely got some VCs,
20-odd million,
venture capitalists involved. So,
but that's the death of everything.
Once you start doing that, it's like and when you're in the supermarkets, you're literally, one drop away from, you could be fucked. Those sort of margins and numbers, you could be fucked. I don't know if this helps them or if it doesn't help them.
Venture capitalists and private equity firms.
Vulture capitalists.
Vulture, yeah. Damn right, Chris.
That's a good way of looking at it.
Pigs.
Or vultures.
Oh, yeah, pig vultures. They're just like, they're going to fucking acid strip the fuck out of it, They might have good venture capitalists, don't get me wrong, but I mean, let's be honest. I don't think any of us are kind of blind to the fact that capitalism is not the fucking friend of humanity at the moment.
It's not really working, is it?
It's not really.
Which I think it ties in with the next bit of news that you're going to be coming to, or is it actually this next one? Well,
I don't know how much I want to speak about this, because it's just relentlessly depressing, isn't it? But it's like the world's gone a bit shit, as we know. The UK's just pushed itself further into abstract crapness with this new spring budget, which is just hopeless. It's just hopeless for so many different reasons, but of course it's mainly hopeless for small businesses and this industry, beer industry, hospitality in general, pubs in particular, have just been dicked over yet again. And not because it's been pointed out that you're a pub, so we're going to dick you over. It's just sort of the blanket barrier to growth that this fucking government is intent on doing. It's not austerity though, Chris. It's not austerity. It's cost cutting. Yeah. It's fucking austerity. It's the same old shit, and they're doing it again, right?
Yeah, man.
So there's been a couple of statements from organisations in our world. So the British Institute of Innkeepers, for example, have basically just echoed that and said, today's statement was incredibly disappointing, delivering nothing to array the fears of operators in our essential sector. Pubs are the very fabric of our society, can't argue with that. And despite encouraging trading for many of our members at the beginning of the year, their profitability has been threatened yet again. So yeah, it's like the triple threat, isn't it? So we've got national insurance contributions increasing.
business rates.
Business rates got
COVID stuff's dropped off. Yeah,
business rates gone down to 40%. So
from 75 or something, isn't it?
So that's just
75 down to 40.
Kick people,
and then next year it drops to 0.
Yeah, rise in minimum wage, which has just not been delivered in any way that's going to be beneficial to business. And I think hospitality in particular is going to get struck really hard, is because it's gig economy where gig economy actually works. So, students, part-time people who just want a couple of extra shifts are going to get stung because of the national insurance contribution. So, if they're earning less than 5k, just as a bit of a side hustle, top up their pay packets, whatever, that's now in threat. And businesses are just going to really struggle to keep people like that employed.
Yeah. No,
it's all sucks. A bit of a shit show, really. Yeah. And it's not, it's like literally we're talking single figure percentage. That sort of 2, 3, 4, 5% can mean a business closing.
No, for sure. And we've talked a lot about small margins in the past.
Yeah. So it's all a bit sad, really. But there is another statement as well, which I wrote down here. But to be honest with you, it's more of the same. It's
pretty much what Mark was saying in that latest video.
Yeah, we'll get onto that in a second. But the
voice of British.
Yeah, the BBPA who basically echoed that exactly. So that's the British Beer and Pub Association. The spring statement was a perfect chance to sow the seeds of growth, but the government missed the opportunity.
Yep.
Has not listened to business, and we can now expect to see prices rise, jobs at risk, and growth downgraded yet again.
Hooray! Well, this is. I mean, maybe we should just call it the Doom Bar again.
Yeah. Well, fuck it. I mean, look. I was gonna say something of positivity there and just offer some ways that we can work our way out of this, but there isn't any at the moment because it's barriers to growth, and it is baffling to me that they can't understand that you need to invest in small business to prop up the economy.
Yeah.
And I think it's baffling to everyone.
Well, let's use that seg.
Okay.
Let's use that seg, get into this last beer, and talk about our latest video. We've got our last beer. Check it and see. It's a DIPA of 8.5%.
It's Monday and we're drinking DIPAs. I haven't even made it 24 hours.
Yeah, no.
Ridiculous.
With my week holiday, I've drank probably for 10 days straight now, which isn't good. I've noticed on my Fitbit that my resting heart rate has gone up by 4 BPM over the last 2 weeks. So
yeah, I've noticed your resting bitch face has gone up by 5 cunt units.
Wow. Okay. Now that's something. What? Yeah. Needless.
It was needless, really, but.
So now we've got the aftermath of the recent video that we've done, which has, pinged all the sensors and triggered all the right people, I guess. And it's our craft beer is too cheap video thing.
Yeah, typically it's been one of our biggest engagement videos. Certainly from a comments point of view, anyway. Everyone's got their say on this.
Well, the views fly on these sort of things. We need to lean more into serious beer talk, to the point where I've actually now put up a playlist on our YouTube called Serious Beer Talk, because we're going to
grown up talk.
What are we drinking, by the way?
Yeah, sorry. This is I got quite excited when you got this. It's the Fidens, which is always good, and this is the Butcher, which I've had before, by the way.
Yeah, and I think I have, but for some reason I have never checked it on Untapped, which probably says more about my Untapped habits than anything else.
8.5% DIPA, and it's a Mosaic, Galaxy, and Nelson bad boy, and it looks incredibly Fidensy, which is always a good thing. I
think Fidens actually might be my favourite American brewery.
It's up there. Trillium hold a special place in my heart, even though they have...
Fidens upstate New York. Is that where they're from? Yeah, Albany. Yeah, so... Yeah.
Oh, it smells good.
It smells great.
Chin.
The Nelson is strong in that.
Oh, do you want it? Oh, bitter. Nice. Good.
The Galaxy doing a bit of scratching there.
Isn't it?
Right, okay, so recent video that we did. Craft beer is too cheap. The uncomfortable truth. I mean, first and foremost, people need to understand that I have to put these clickbaity titles in.
It's what gets the clicks. I mean, they're
It's what makes you
clickbait
click.
for a reason, yeah. So it proved with this one anyway, I think.
If I named this something honest and fair, like speaking with a bottle shop owner about business rates and how it's affecting small hospitality businesses in the UK 2025, I don't think many people would have clicked.
Yeah, a bit dry.
Yeah. So it's all about marketing, darling. It's been great. We've had loads of uptake on it, to the point where I think we need to start leaning into this thing, this whole new genre of craft beer video type thing.
Hard-hitting journalism.
Yeah. I think we need to next get someone from Cameron, because it's only fair that we offer a right to reply.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, Cameron have had a bit of a pasting from us, I think, a little bit recently. I mean, it sometimes with good reason, sometimes we're being a bit oversensitive, I think, about things. But Mark mentions Cameron in that video,
And Tim from our regional camera head, he did reply.
and it's quite important. Yeah, that Tim, who I actually know, and he's been really supportive of when I had Hall, and he's been really supportive of Hot Vault. He commented very thoughtfully on that video, actually, to say, I get your point, but, which is his want, absolutely, to do so. So I think we need to speak to Camera, because Camera is a really big organisation, and it's obviously divided up by region and by area. And I think one part of Camera will differ massively from the other part.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we've had a pop at very specific areas of Camera in the past, but Tim's a good egg, so yeah, I'd love to get him on. In fact, we'll ask him if he wants to come on for a sequel to this and put his view forward.
I think the main thing that permeates through this, and the one thing where obviously the leading headline was craft beer is too cheap, but realistically, I think the small print, or the lesser bit, the bit that was in subheadings, was our industry organisations are failing us at this point.
Yeah.
And Camera need a new mission. They just need a new goal. They need a new campaign.
Yeah.
No, because, like Mark said, they achieved real ale, acknowledgement and stuff in the early 2000s. Since then it's been good to go. What happens now is we need to find out what can they do, and I really think that we need to get that nailed down. And obviously that might involve doing a bit of a sit down with Tim or someone else from Camera. Obviously we want to let them have their say, but yeah, I think the crux of where we're coming from is you need to help more.
Yeah, and I don't want to turn this into another Camera bashing session.
They're not the only ones. Sibba.
But it's...
Yeah.
Yes, it's Sibba as well, but Camera in particular. I always go for Camera because I've experienced it firsthand, and it's not necessarily Camera. It's often people who are Camera members who are almost evangelical about their hatred of everything that isn't traditional, in inverted commas, traditional cask beer, and it's almost like they're anti everything that isn't that, which goes against most of modern beer. And it's who are they supporting here? I don't get it. They seem to be more for Wetherspoons than it is for independent beer distributors and retailers.
Do you reckon
it baffles me.
Do you reckon we can go full Trump on this and say that we need to take Camera over for the security of craft beer?
Yeah, I think we should rename it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a Sharpie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would we rename it to? Planet Beer TV?
Kegland.
Kegland? Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think we should have our own name in there.
The Keg Canyon.
Yeah, there you go. Have we got any comments that you want to pick out from that video? Because there was a lot of interesting ones. A lot of them are too long to read out in full, but there's a few really good points.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are agreeing. Some people are putting their own spin on it, but I think for the most part, everyone who's commenting on this is quite passionate about it.
Yeah. There's actually one I want to read here, and it's just because I don't know where to put it.
Go on.
So, like, for those who comment, you'll notice that a lot of the time we do just like your comment just to let you know that we've seen it, and also to just to get it off the YouTube app, because the comments don't go away, do they? No. Until you acknowledge them, until you either reply to it or mark like it, just go like mark it as I love this comment, and then it goes away off the notification board. So just let it be known. Sometimes when we like your comment, we don't.
We just want you to go away.
But Hopzine, Rob, who's followed us for some time, and obviously we watch a lot of his old beer tube stuff that he used to do.
Yep.
Rob is a really good, thoughtful guy, and obviously he's been in the industry. He had like 2 or 3 comments that were on there, and there's the one that kind of stuck out to me was that I can read because it fits into a time. Is if you want the good stuff, you have to pay the price. Simple as that. If you think it's too expensive, go elsewhere. If you're the owner and you need more money, do more to appeal to people. I think his point was really that pubs and bars essentially need to do more in the climate. And I think this is something that we've also experienced with having Bruiser as a sponsor versus, for instance, Hop Vault. Because someone else pointed this out. Liam sent us a comment saying, really like this, having worked in hospitality for 20 years, but just a question, how do you get on with Bruiser in terms of like, how well do they pay their breweries and all that sort of stuff?
Does your sponsor Bruiser offer a fair deal to the brewers they distribute? Which is a fair question.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, we put a reply out there because we had to basically answer that.
Yeah.
Because it's a fair point.
Yep.
And it kind of goes back to what Rob was saying in the sense of you need to be able to offer more in this kind of environment. And this is the thing with Bruiser. It's like they've come along, they've shaken up the craft beer purchasing kind of platform model. And now it's a case of, they've obviously driven prices down for certain people. Now it's a case of your craft beer bars have to do more now to appeal. They can't just rely on the fact that people will just walk in and want to spend an extra bit of money when they could just buy something online or direct from the brewery. They need to have that extra added value to actually win that custom. And you would have experienced that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't think if you want the good stuff, you have to pay the price. Simple as that is a very helpful comment in a lot of ways, because where's the line?
Yeah. And also it's not true.
It's also not true.
We did the Orval tasting recently. What was that, £4.65 for a bottle of Orval?
Exactly. Kind of understand in a way that you kind of have to be more educational to bring people in. But fuck me. I mean, how are you supposed to do that if you're a little tap room in urban black country? It's incredibly difficult to get the message out there. It's not like you've got a marketing budget. You know what I mean? It's like you rely on word of mouth and you rely on people to come in. It's expensive by default. I don't think saying go elsewhere if it's too expensive for you is very helpful, because that's just going to kill business. I think you do need to appeal more to the people, but what are we appealing to here? Are we appealing for their desire for quality? Are we appealing for their desire to save money? Surely we're well past the point now people can just go out now and just go to the pub because it's something on a Friday and Saturday. That world does not exist. It's not the 90s anymore. You know, it's not the social hub it used to be. I think, yes, you need to appeal to consumers to get people in, but it shouldn't be the onus of the individual owners. It should be people like CAMRA or organisations like SIBA to educate the fuck out of people. Specifically, in CAMRA's case, their own members, because some of those people are just the worst, man. They're just not helping anybody. In fact, they're going out their way to promote, as I mentioned earlier, Weatherspoons and just people who just take advantage of the industry and are basically landlords on steroids, and then seem to crown them as the saviour of beer because they can save, they can get a pint for under £1.50. And that pint, by the way, is going to be fucking awful.
Well, yeah, but, you might get lucky and it might be bang average at best.
And of course, not all of them are like that. Of course, I'm being very specific, but I think long way of saying I don't think it is up to the individual venues in particular to educate.
No, yeah. And the other thing as well is like if Rob, when he says if you're the owner and you need more money, do more to appeal to more people. It's like
that's not helpful.
Well, the thing is as well. You look at Mark, for instance, in the Hop Vault, since opening up just as a place where you can get cans and bottles to actually being able to sit in and drink in. Now they've got artisan coffee, like a nice, great coffee, which is supplied independently. They've gone down the route of actually being like a whiskey bar as well. So they've got like a load of whiskies and stuff. And then they've got cocktails for the MILFs, you know, and anyone else that wants to come in and perhaps dabble. We're not talking cocktails in a can either, like those little pocket Negronis. We're talking like they've gone like a whole list of old fashions. So he is doing literally as much as he possibly can as a purveyor of alcoholic beverages and non-alcoholic beverages with the coffee. If he's, I mean, I'm saying this as though they're doing bad, and they're absolutely not doing bad. They're not going anywhere. But if he can't make ends meet based on that offering, then there's something bigger at play there. That's not about your lack of options to your consumer. That's the conditions are stacked against you, and everything's kind of fucked.
Yeah, and also, you know, the whole thing about if something, I think he mentions later on in one of his comments, if someone wants to own a specialist bar or shop, they should be aware that it's tough at the moment. Well, yeah, that was the whole point of the video. That's literally what he's saying.
Yeah.
By that logic, are we just saying that all specialist shops should cease to exist because people aren't going to be willing to pay for that kind of thing?
Well,
and I just, it exists because it is a specialist shop. He's not moaning. He's saying exactly what needs to happen to salvage this side of the industry.
One thing which I thought was, could craft beer shops like that and little bottle shops and stuff, are they ultimately going to be Laserdisc or HD DVD? You know, the superior product, but financially and economically not viable. Betamax. You know, like these things which were actually better than the thing that actually won out in the end. But it is an absolute luxury, but it's a real shame that we're having to have this discussion that people can't have variety and a little bit of luxury in their lives without being kicked from inside. The call is coming from inside the house. I mean, fuck, man. How am I meant to be on the same side? There's bars I know actually. In fact, there's one in Halzo in Roberto Rossi's bar, right? He's got the sweet spot from his point of view, because what he's done, he doesn't go all in on the real speciality stuff or the expensive stuff. He keeps it really kind of mid-range, local cast stuff, lots of Belgium stuff. You know, and that's a venue for the people he wants from that area to be in, to enjoy a very sort of mid-range style of beer, right? With the occasional sort of big specialty beer he drops in as a surprise, right? That's not what the Hop Vault and all the countless other are doing. They want to showcase as much good quality beer, and that comes at massive expense. To the point of what Mark was saying is, it needs to get more expensive for anyone to make any living in this industry. Otherwise, it's all going to disappear. That's not ideal. No.
But, you know, we've just been talking about, you know, the restrictions the government's now put on us again. And that's what we should be rallying against, not having to go at people for daring to do something that doesn't quite fit into your idea that, you know, beer for the people.
This is the main thing, I think. And ultimately, I mean, we will keep banging this drum because clearly you guys like it. You want to have your say, and we love hearing about it. So, like, you know, everyone that commented, even though we haven't read your comments out or whatever, we see them, we read them. Really appreciate you sending in your thoughts. I even forward a load on to Mark as well to get his thoughts as well. Rob hops in. Hope you understand. Like, we just wanted to pull yours out. We're not picking on you or anything, but I didn't quite know where to put yours in terms of, like, I wasn't sure how to process it or like reply to it. So I thought wanted to bring those ones specifically to the table to talk about, because I think there are some important points there. But then also it's like, what can we do what can be done outside of just, pull your socks up?
I was just flicking through the comments here. This one's quite interesting, actually. It probably sums up a few things, both sides of the fence. And this is from Lee73, who's the 73rd of the Lees from his family.
I was never a fan of the first 72.
I didn't see that, so
I'm glad that he's around.
I wouldn't understand this, Lee, because I haven't seen those. To play devil's advocate, the consumer has less expendable money too. This is exactly
Bang
right.
on.
It's natural to look for good quality beer at an affordable price. It's natural, but it's not practical anymore. And this is me saying this, by the way. The hospitality industry is in crisis, and the consumer has less money. It's a clusterfuck, quite right. And like what was said at the very beginning, there is no silver bullets. The problem.
I said that.
You did say that. Well,
I wrote that. And said it.
You are the best. So well done. Also, the problem with service charges. If I'm automatically charged 12.5% on top of my bill, I wouldn't mind. But I'm less likely to tip unless the service was exceptional. I generally tip higher than this. I would be fucking mortified if we get into tip culture just to salvage an industry, by the way. I'd rather it all just dies.
And I think one of our patrons said, I think it was David. David said, having watched the video, like, don't quite know the answers, but
it's not the Americanization.
Hidden service charges, like what Mark alluded to, like where they just, he went and ordered a pie and a burger and a Guinness, and they gave him 12.5%, even though he'd ordered it himself and whatever. That's not the way to go. I think a lot of the time people won't mind paying the service charge if they know about it in advance, so they know that they can either just not bother going.
Oh, it's fucked up that it's just extra tax on hospitality, isn't it? I mean, it's an individual tax done by the establishment you're in, but it's such a shame that it needs to happen.
And there's also the other thing as well. It's like Legend Steve pointed out to me: higher prices to pay your staff more than just minimum wage, to pay more of a specialist wage. How many industries do you know where they up their prices and then the people on the shop floor see the advantages? It usually just goes to the bottom line profit, which goes to the business owner. So
absolutely.
It's like, who's policing the fact that we'll put this service charge on it. I'll go to the staff. I swear.
I mean, it's like that. Are we saying that these people don't deserve to work in an industry like this? They should go and work at a Wetherspoons actually, because the prices are cheaper and they'll just get paid just above minimum wage anyway. Or, why are we in this world now where there's people who want to work in interesting, artisanal places and learn about new experiences and products, and be involved in something that's basically, a creative industry at the end of the day, and be part of something really interesting. Why we get to the point now where you're saying, well, I'm going to have to raise my prices and then get kicked by people left, right and centre because that luxury product is essentially, not deserving of people to work there. It's weird. I don't get it. We should be championing this together. There's
another solution, which is to raise the minimum wage by another couple of quid an hour, and then I could just leave my job and get a job at the Hop Vault.
Yeah. I
mean, still earn the same money. Probably a bit more for you because you're a bit of a specialist wheeler and dealer in the background, so you probably need an extra £5 an hour on the.
I'd take an extra quid an hour if he was less stressed. Just anyway.
Oh yeah, but how good was that beer, by the way?
That was excellent, by the way. And it got me a little bit chatty, so I apologise if I got a little bit.
No, it's good. I think that put things to rights there.
Yeah, so it's a big subject. Let's speak to camera. Mr. Cadwell, if you are listening, mate, we'd love to get you on. I know you're. I saw you washing your car the other day, so I know where you live.
Oh, okay. Also, at the request of one of the patrons who wanted to see what it's told you.
Oh God! We just had the cat.
At least she's meowing, so we know that there's no
mouse attached.
A dob.
Yeah.
She's looking for my wife, who's in Brighton. I've told her to go to the hole in the wall and unbarred. I doubt she will because it's a work conference. But
hello.
Yeah, she yodels. It's weird. But another person that we're going to have on, hopefully, I still need to email him, but I will email, is Dave Hayward from Indie Rabble and Hoppy Place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because David, the Patreon, said it would be really good to get a perspective from some, like a similar industry, well, as in the same business, but more London-centric. Because he's obviously just outside London. He's in Berkshire.
He's a very vocal contributor to the
obviously, and he's very active on the forums. Yeah. It'd be a really good perspective to get, because obviously we only really ever talk to Mark, so
he could be completely wrong.
Everyone's like, "What Mark's saying is not reality. What were you talking about?"
Look, we live in a bubble. Deal with it.
Right, Paul. I think we're fast approaching time on this, because I think this is a bit of a bumper episode, because we've essentially crammed in a whole month into one. So for those of you who aren't a member of the Patreon, please consider subscribing. We're going to be jumping over now to record the drip tray. When is beer not a beer?
Oh, look forward to this.
So, yeah.
Well, enjoyed that. Cheers, guys.
Thank you very much for listening.
See you on the next one.
Yeah, see you next time. See you for episode 20.
Blimey, Charlie.
We should do something special.
Like have a drink.
for a change. Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. See you next time.
The Fantasy Beer Name Podcast is brought to you by Planet Beer TV. This episode was recorded by Luke Bartlett. Thanks once again to our wonderful sponsors, Mosaic Board Printers.